Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is going to be my match preview for Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Quarter-finals high, Champions League at the Bernabeu. It's going to be not just one of our hardest games of the season, but one of our biggest games of the season. Let's get into it. So to start off then, let's have a look at Real Madrid's record with the last few games. In the last 5 games, they've won 3 and they've lost 2. They've scored 17 and they've conceded 6. That's scary. That is scary. The record against Madrid is 4 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss. Obviously last year, we faced them in the quarterfinals. They beat us 3-1 at Stamford Bridge and we beat them 3-2 at the Bernabeu. And then also the year before that we faced them in semi-finals and we drew 1-1 at, it was at Madrid's home game, but it wasn't at the Bernabeu. It was at their training ground or something like that, I think, because they were renovating the Bernabeu. And also we beat them 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. So our record against Real Madrid isn't that bad in competitive games. As I said, we've only lost to Real Madrid in a competitive game once. So I guess we've got that on our side. Tonight, as you'll see in our lineup, we just got to play well defensively. If we can bring it back to the bridge as tight as possible, you never know what can happen. No matter what, we're against it. We're the massive underdogs, but we've always been underdogs going into these games. Look at 2012, look at 2021. We're always the underdogs, and yet we always seem to be able to turn it around. Tonight is going to be very hard. It'll be a massive upset if we can do this. I mean, we have no right to beat them. So if we can cause an upset tonight, it would be massive. Absolutely massive. Frank Lampard was asked about this underdog bit and he said there's no better feeling than proving people wrong in football. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all, is he? And if we do prove everyone wrong tonight, that would be the peak of everything. But obviously we have to remember there's still a second leg as well, so even if we do win, we can't get too carried away. And it's good to see this mentality. It's good to see this mentality of like, everyone's against us, but we're going to come through and we're going to try to do it. And hopefully this will reflect to the players on the pitch, because against Wolves the other day, there was just nothing. There was no intensity, there was no aggression, there was no tenacity, there was no nothing. But hopefully tonight, some of this mentality will kick in, and we'll actually see them try. We'll actually see them push Madrid, and we'll just see what we can do. Because when we play our best football, we can be a very good team. But we need to play that football, we need to keep it tight at the back, not give them too many chances, and when we get chances, we need to take them. That is vital. Frank Lampard also said about belief, we need to believe, and also about being disciplined off the ball. I completely agree. So, Lampard's not messing about with it. I mean, he knows what it means to play for Chelsea in this competition. He knows what it means to win the Champions League for Chelsea. I said in my predictions video yesterday, I think we lose 2-1. Let's get into the lineup then, and stuff like injuries. So according to Lampard, Thiago Silva, Mason Mount and Kante are all fit. That is massive. That is really massive for us. Silva and Kante, you'll see my lineup in a second. Silva and Kante back is massive for us. We need that. Obviously, all of them, Silva's missed a few months, Mount and Kante missed the Wolves game, but they've all travelled to Madrid. They are all fit to play. Obviously, none of them are fit to play. None of them are able to play the full game. But we need Silva and Kante on that pitch for a certain amount of time. I mean, Lampard talked about Kante's appearance in the Super Cup a few years ago in Lampard's first game, where he survived a late fitness test and he put in an unbelievable shift for 120 minutes. I mean, if we can go the full 90, then we're going to need him tonight, because if he can turn up and he can play his best, like he did against Liverpool, that is massive for us. Because the amount of intensity, amount of tenacity, what he brings to the team is unbelievable. And Thiago Silva, it goes without saying, he's been our best player this season. He's a wall at the back. Him and Wesley Fofana at the back, it is a great feeling if they're both at their best. Also, I talked about having to rotate them 3, make sure they don't get injured again. We also have to look at the players who are on a booking. Mudryk, Koulibaly, James, Gallagher, Enzo, Thiago Silva and Kepa. That's 7 players on the booking. That's a lot of players on the booking. I mean, we can't afford to have anyone missing the second leg. We need to make sure none of these players get booked tonight. Absolutely none of them. Because we need the strongest squad and the strongest team as we can for both games. So with that in mind then, what is the lineup I would play? Let's get into it. Kepa in goal. I think Mendy is back fit, but I don't really know what's going on with that, so we'll stick Kepa. Back 3 then. I'm going with back 3 because the defensive stability. We need to defend well, we need to keep it solid at the back. So I've gone with Wesley Fofana, Thiago Silva and Kalidou Koulibaly as the back 3. Now that is a solid back 3. Them 3 at their best, that is a very, very good back 3. Then got a 4 in midfield. Obviously, Ben Chilwell, Reece James, the wing backs. There's no doubt about that. Because them 2 on the day, they're unbelievable. And talk about unbelievable on their day, Enzo Fernandez and N'Golo Kante in the midfield. That's 2 World Cup winners there. They're 2 World Cup winners at their best in the middle. Unbelievable. Obviously, that leaves a front three. Felix on the right. I'd have Havertz on the left. Maybe you can switch them around. Doesn't really matter. And I'd have Raheem Sterling up front as that false nine, just like we did against Dortmund. Raheem Sterling, false nine. And I'd also look. I think Mudryk could be vital as well. So he scored against Real Madrid earlier on this season. So maybe it's a bit of unlucky to not have him in. I think maybe Mudryk could really benefit from a false nine, where you also have false nine making room for players to make a run behind. And we could look to bring Mudryk on. If Real Madrid are tired, bring on the fresh legs of Mudryk with all his pace. That could be dangerous to them. So we have to keep that in mind. But for now, I would start Felix, Sterling and Havertz. So I think that could be a very dangerous front three. Obviously, Sterling's our top goal scorer in the Champions League this season. Havertz is our top goal scorer in all competitions. And João Felix, I mean, he played for Atletico Madrid for years. He knows Spanish football, very well. And ever since he came in, he's like a breath of fresh air. He's been very good. So yeah, that's it for today. Let's hope we can do it. Let's go. Let's bring the game to them. Let's stay solid. And let's try cause a massive upset. It would be absolutely brilliant. Thanks for watching. See ya. Come on, Chelsea.